All right. Well, we finally got to the preseason. Now it's officially college football is officially back. So we go, man. I can't believe we're finally here. Finally made it to this point. Good to have college football back for sure this weekend. But before I go, I'm going to recap, obviously, the preseason picks I made. I finished off, preseason officially in the books. So let's recap some of the games. We had Colts and Bengals, obviously, last week. I won that pick. I won both Thursday games because the Colts beat the Bengals while the Bears beat the Chiefs. I started 2-0, winning both two Thursday games, and the Friday games I did pretty solid too. Jaguars won live, beating the Falcons, and then the Buccaneers, won. Then the 49ers end up in a tie. So yeah, we had a tie because preseason didn't go to overtime. So 49ers and Raiders tied while the Bucks beat the Bucks beat the Dolphins. Move on to Saturday's games. Yes, the Buffalo Bills lost to the Panthers. So what? It's preseason. Even though I wanted them, I had them winning, but still, so what? We didn't have our starters, and it was a meaningless game. We won the big preseason game with the Steelers. So what? Just get us ready for the regular season. So the Bills, Buffalo Joe made the roster though. Joe Andreessen, so the local kid, he's gonna stay as a Bill. Made the main roster. So after the Bills lost the Panthers, so yeah, and the Steelers blow their lead. They lose the Detroit Lions, so the Lions got to win. They finished doing well while the Steelers finished winless in preseason. Of course, Steelers just named their starting quarterback. They named I think today, it goes, yeah, Russell Wilson is now your starting quarterback for the Steelers. So now we know who the Steelers finally decided. It was a tough decision, but we'll see how Russell Wilson can do. I mean, he had his struggles in Denver, no doubt. But yeah, so we'll see how he does now as a starter now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, winning the starting job over Justin Fields. And we also the one other 1 o'clock game. The Ravens lost to the Green Bay Packers. I hate having the Packers win while the Bills lost. It's preseason, but still, I hate the Packers still winning in preseason even. So, yep, Green Bay beat the Ravens. While the Eagles, lost to the Vikings. They only scored a field goal. The Eagles only scored a field goal while the Vikings were able to put 26 points. So it was 26-3 to final that one. The Houston Texans won. They looked pretty good against the Rams. We had that game going final. And then they had a 4 o'clock session. Cowboys ended up losing the Chargers, which surprised me. But, it's preseason, but still, Chargers had a really rough preseason, but they got a win over Dallas, though, which is pretty good for them, for Harbaugh. And preseason on a good note. The Giants lost to the Jets. So Jets undefeated in preseason this year, which doesn't mean that much, but we'll see how they do with Aaron Rodgers coming back, though, if he can stay healthy. Obviously, the Giants, meanwhile, they're going to struggle this year as usual. And the Browns, obviously, they lost to the Seahawks. That was a late Saturday, that game, yeah. They lost to Seattle Seahawks. It was a high-scoring game, though. Highest-scoring preseason game all year it was. And they obviously recap of Sunday's games. Like we saw, the Titans won in a close one. They beat the Saints. And then the Broncos dominated. They rolled against the Cardinals while the Commanders won. So, which I called that one. I was kind of – so, yeah, I finished 8-7-1 in my preseason picks for week 3. So I finished with a winning record at least total. So I did pretty good. It was consistent, my preseason picks. So, yeah. That will wrap up this year's preseason talk now. Now we know the roster. Now we know the regular season officially here. Real football begins this weekend. We'll get in that a little bit. So let's talk about bashing the Berlin this weekend. That's a new pay-per-view coming up this week for WB. That's another big thing in college football. WB got their pay-per-view. It'll be Berlin, Germany's first time a big pay-per-view event coming there. A pay-per-view event coming to the country of Germany. So that's going to be a big deal for them for sure. So, Gunther versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's the first match we'll preview first. Gunther, obviously, yes, I'm not happy having been champion. Yeah, Gunther obviously won over Damian Priest at SummerSlam. This is his first title defense. It's against Randy Orton. Out of all people, that's gonna be a good test for Gunther against a veteran like Orton, who's trying to go for his 15th World Championship in WWE. He's trying to make some history a little bit. Orton still. So if Orton wins the stipulation is if Orton wins the World Heavyweight Championship, he'll be transferred to Raw. But if Gunther wins, and Gunther will be transferred to SmackDown, that's how it's going to go. Only if Orton wins. So that's how that stipulation is going to go. And you got next the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes will defend against Kevin Owens. That should be a good match. It's good they're giving Kevin Owens an opportunity finally, at a title. So it'll be a tough match for Cody Rhodes. But we'll see how that match goes. But all right, before I get more of these other matches, I just want to get these personally championship matches. I think Orton. I don't know. This is kind of a tough pick. I'm gonna have to go with Gunther. Unfortunately, I would say Orton, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I see Gunther will successfully retain his World Heavyweight Championship. I think. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for Orton, but Gunther, I have a feeling he's got the advantage. Being out in his home continent of Europe, he's got the advantage. So I got to go with Gunther. He's gonna have a successful title defense. It's not gonna be easy. I think Orton's not gonna make it easy though, but I think Gunther will retain. He'll still be a champion. I think Cody Rhodes will still be the undisputed WWE champion, so there won't be that much title changes in that one. So I think those Gunther and Cody Rhodes will retain their world championships and all that. Next, the Terror Twins. And this is the same alliance, kind of the original Judgment Day members. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley will take on the Judgment Day of Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan. So craziness has happened. I mean, yes, Finn Balor turns on Damian Priest. Damian Priest will focus on him later, but right now he's got to focus on Dirty Dom. Him and Rhea Ripley. So yeah, Dom turns on Rhea Ripley by kissing Liv Morgan. So the Judgment Day, really much, the original members are pretty much done. Finn Balor, I think, the only one. So yeah, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, I gotta go with. Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan don't know what they're getting themselves into. Liv Morgan, Dirty Dom thinks so confident, but seriously, when you mess with Big Dame, especially when you turn on your back on Rhea Ripley, you're in trouble. I'm telling you. I guarantee Rhea Ripley get her hands on Liv Morgan. I feel like she should need to get her hands on Dirty Dom one of these times. You need to slap some sense in him for turning on his mommy. Come on, I gotta go with Ripley and Priest. They're out for revenge. They're out for blood. I'm telling you, they are pissed off after SummerSlam. So I gotta go with them over the Judgment Day. So yeah, Terror Twins, which is Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest alliance. So yeah, Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom are in trouble. Next, the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre saga continues. It'll be a strap match this time. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Yes, I picked CM Punk last time and that didn't work out. I think CM Punk wins this time. I'm picking him again. I think CM Punk wants to win this time over Drew McIntyre. As much as McIntyre, yes, he's in Germany, but I think Punk is out for blood in this one. Punk is definitely after what happened at SummerSlam. So I got to go with CM Punk winning the strap match. We don't know yet what's going on with Roman Reigns Soul Skull. I'm guessing they'll have a match. We don't know. We'll see. I think it's all we got in the card this week. It's not that much matches. Not a big pay-per-view. The last match is the tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team title. It is the Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus who are defending the champions against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I got to go with Belair and Cargill. Those two alliance, I think they're going to get back to tag team titles. So I think we're going to have at least new women's tag team champions. I think the only title that's going to change hands at the Bash at the Berlin this weekend. So yeah, that's your WWE preview now, the pay-per-view. Now let's get on to college football this weekend. Finally, the wait is over. We talked about preseason. We talked about the pay-per-view. Let's get on a real topic for the night, shall we? So let's start with tomorrow's games. Of course, before that, the Yankees obviously they won their series over the Guardians and they won the series over the Rockies. But they're not going to look like they're not going to win the series over the Nationals at least. We know. So yeah, they got obviously the Cardinals this weekend, and then next week they got the Rangers. We'll get more on that later, like next week. But yeah, here we go. College football. Let's start with the Thursday night games. Starts with Minnesota and UNC. This game will be aired 8 o'clock Eastern time on Fox. This will be a Fox Thursday night special like they've been doing for the Big Ten the last few years. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. This is a toss-up, honestly, in my opinion. These two met last year in Chapel Hill. This time it's in Minneapolis. So I'm going to go with Minnesota this year. I think last year Carolina won last year's matchup. I think Minnesota wins it this year at home field. They got home field advantage. Carolina is not the same without Drake May. And they still got Hampton as their running back still, but they got some returning players, but they lost a lot of guys last year, key players, including Drake May, including, the receiver, and play that much, because of this whole transfer thing and all that violation, whatever it is. But yeah. So I think Minnesota. I can't count Mac Brown, but I like Minnesota in this matchup for some reason on home field on a Thursday night at home. That's what I did last year in Nebraska, but this is gonna be a tougher matchup. But I got the Gophers in a very close game. Next, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and of course we'll be back as there's a coach. They got Shedeur Sanders. Colorado, they got North Dakota State. I know it's an FCS team, but North Dakota State is known to get a lot of FBS teams fits and pull upsets. So they've known to beat some Power 5 schools in the past. So, I'd say it's closer than the experts think, but Colorado's got the talent, so I got to go with Colorado still. I can't pick against Sanders in this one, but still, watch out. North Dakota State could give Colorado fits in this one. I'm saying this could be a lot closer than the experts think in this one. This will be aired at 8 o'clock on ESPN, so make sure to watch. I'm sure everyone's going to be tuning in mostly that one instead of the Minnesota one, I'm sure, because they want to watch Deion Sanders, they want to watch Coach Prime and all that, Shedeur Sanders and all that. They must watch TV still. They forgot about how Travis Hunter's good too. So yeah, I like Colorado. I like them in this matchup here, the Thursday game. So that was my 2 picks so far. Hopefully Max will get his picks. We'll see how. Yeah, we'll be back to like college picks. Me and Max again. I've won the last 2 years. Max won the very first year. So who's gonna win it this year? It's gonna be me. I know. I'm a better college football expert than Max, easily. My buddy Max Garvin, easily. Let's move on to Friday's games. There's a couple good notable Friday games I'll pick in this one. This will be later 7:00 Friday night on ESPN. This will be number 16 Oklahoma hosting Temple. The spread is 42.5 favored by Oklahoma. I don't know, maybe. I mean, that's a pretty big spread, but Oklahoma could probably cover in this one, maybe. But I'm not going to talk about like picking a spread and all that, but I'm just do straight up picks. So I'm going to take Oklahoma for sure. Oklahoma's going to roll. This is not even close to a matchup this is going to be. I mean, Temple's not even close. So, yeah, Oklahoma big over Temple. So I like this one at home. The other Friday game I'll watch, and also I put in the selection this week, is FAU and Michigan State. This is kind of an interesting matchup. FAU team from the American, and Michigan State had a down year. I mean, they've been struggling. They haven't had a good season since 21, when that special season when they had Kenneth Walker as a running back. But Michigan State's the favorites. I was mixed emotions in this pick. They're favored by 14, but I like Michigan State no matter what. Or it's close or not. I mean, FAU could be give us fits, but it's Michigan State. I got this one for sure. There's no doubt. Oh, let's move on to this one finally. The game I've been waiting for. My Virginia Tech Hokies are back. They got a lot of high expectations. I think they're a playoff team. I think Virginia Tech, my Hokies, will make the playoffs this year. They're a contender. They're a dark horse, you're saying. I think they're a contender to win the ACC too. So they got Vanderbilt on the road. So that'll be a tough one. That'll be noon on ESPN following College Game Day. That'll be a good one for the Saturday slate in Vanderbilt, in SEC country. Yes, Vanderbilt's a pretty bad Power 5 team, but I think the Hokies are going to roll. I mean, starts with Kyron Drones. He's returning. So is Bashal Tootin. So is like the whole receiving core of Felton, Jennings, obviously, Lane, too. Like those 3 in general are back. I mean, Malcolm, like the whole offense is back. So Virginia Tech's going to roll, and their defense pretty much back too. So yeah, my Hokies are going to roll. I'll drop my playoff predictions after the Dive pick. So yeah, I like the Hokies in this one over Vanderbilt. Big. My Hokies are going to get the W. Guarantee it. This one's, I mean, it's a kind of a hate picking this one, but yeah, it's the Kent State Golden Flashes taking on the Pitt Panthers. Yeah, so this will be noon on ESPNU. Why we're picking this one, because my buddy Max always pick our teams, pick our favorite teams, each week, Max a Pitt fan, so I hate to say this, I'm gonna have to pick Pitt over Kent State, yeah. So much I want to root for Kent State, but Pitt, yeah, they'll roll in this one at least. I mean, yeah, that's an easy win for Pitt in this one, especially at home. So I like the Pitt Panthers this one. Next, with this one, I got an upset alert. West Virginia, number 8, Penn State heads into Morton. I'm taking on West Virginia. This is noon on Fox. This is big noon Saturday. A lot of people want to take Penn State this one. But this one, I got an upset alert. This one, I think, is my upset alert game, I think. I think West Virginia is going to pull the upset. This is my upset pick. I got the Mountaineers beating Penn State in an upset. Why? I don't know. Just think Penn State is kind of overrated as usual, but still, I think Morgantown's a tough place to play. You think about it. A lot of ranked teams have come in there. I've had some trouble playing Morgantown. They barely got out there with a win, but still, think about it. My Hokies played there in 2021. They lost. They were number 15. They lost to West Virginia when Virginia's unranked. So even top 10 teams can lose too. So this one I think is my upset alert. I'd say watch. I mean, the odds don't look like it, but I just think this is a game I would look out for in the upset alert category this week. So I got the Mountaineers an upset win over number 8 Penn State. So that is going to cause some chaos. Next, we got a noon game on ABC. It's number 14 Clemson taking on number 1 Georgia. Georgia's number 1 ranked team in the preseason poll this year. So yes, I like Georgia in this one. I'm definitely going to take them. And plus, this is in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Falcons. So this is definitely in Georgia territory. This is in their home state. So it's easy home game for the Bulldogs. So they're going to roll over Clemson. Clemson's overrated, always ranked, and always going unranked the last few years. Clemson may have won the AC championship a couple of years ago, but still, they're overrated last year. They're going to be overrated again. So Georgia's going to roll. Carson's back in his second year. He's going to look good in this one. So next, this will be a 3:30 game on ABC as well, I think. Yes, Florida and Miami, the Sunshine State Battle. We haven't had this game in like 5 years. Miami's ranked number 19 in the preseason, and Florida is unranked. So maybe this could be an upset alert too, I'd say. kind of a mild upset, I'd say. But this is definitely an upset alert. I got the Gators in this one. Miami's overrated as usual. They rank in the preseason polls and then struggle in the regular season. So I like the Gators winning at home on the Swamp. I like the Gators over Miami easily. I mean, might be close, but still, I just don't trust Miami Hurricanes still. They're so overrated every year in the top 25 in college, and they always struggle in the regular season. So, yeah, give me them. Next, it is the Saturday night game on ABC, 7:30. This will be a new era of Saturday football. This will be SEC be running these games this year. But it's going to be an interesting one. Notre Dame comes into College Station. They play against Texas A&M on the road. That'll be a tough one playing the 12th man. What's interesting about this one, you got a couple former Duke guys. Former Duke quarterback, Ryland, who's a true transfer to Notre Dame. Then you got the former Duke head coach for football, Mike Elko, who got the Texas A&M job. Now Jimbo Fisher got fired last year. So, yeah, it's be an interesting one. Coach, former coach against his former teammate, player and all that. It's going to be a good matchup for this one. This one's kind of a tough pick. A&M's the favorites, but I got to take Notre Dame in this one. Notre Dame should win still. I really think so. It's a tough environment, but I like Notre Dame in this one. I think they'll prevail, but a close one. I like them in this one. For sure. That'll be my next pick. So, yeah, let's move on to the Sunday game, a Sunday special. They've been doing this every year for week 1 of the college football season. It'll be a Sunday night game, 7:30 on ABC. It'll be a neutral site game in Las Vegas in the Raiders Stadium. So, it'll be USC, who is number 23 ranked, against LSU, who was number 13th ranked. This one I kind of had trouble picking. These are a couple story programs, which had success, Yes, you did miss me talking about the NFL. So it's all about college now. So, yeah, the Sunday game. This one's a tough one, but I'm going to take LSU in this one. They got the better offense. Still, this is the first year out Jaden Daniels, but I like LSU in this one. Yes, USC is a little closer to Las Vegas, but I like LSU in this one for sure. They'll roll. They will roll. I think I got them this one. Last but not certainly least, the Labor Day game. It's the traditional Labor Day game. This will be Boston College and Florida State. Yes, I picked Florida State last week, and they lost an upset one to Georgia Tech. They're still number 10 because week 0, they don't change the rankings after week 0's games until next week. So we'll find out after Labor Day, like all the rankings going to be. But, yeah, Florida State already lost. It's an unranked team. And this time it's at home. They played Ireland last week. This one it's in Tallahassee. And it's Boston College. They're big favorites, but I'm still going to take Florida State. They lost last week, but all right. Hello?
Hello, football is back.
Yes, it is.
Hello, football is back.
I know. That's right.
Did you see what the NFL players are saying about Allen?
Yeah, they're talking like how he's overrated or something like that. Best trash talker.
I was like, Allen is not overrated.
Oh, I know.
And do you remember how I said you're going 12 and 5?
Yeah, I do remember that last week. I do remember that from last week's show.
I changed my mind.
Why is that?
We're going 13 and 4.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I think that's going to fire up Josh Allen and the Bills.
I hope so. I mean, still got at least over a week before our first game.
You know who my favorite college team is?
What?
Ohio State University.
Yeah. I think they'll still be good, but they're gonna be better than last year, I'd say.
Yeah, but I'm sorry I can't stay on too long.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
We're going to destroy the Dolphins again.
I hope so. Let's keep it as usual.
Hey, call me later so we could do a fantasy draft together.
Okay.
Hey, can you call me after your show?
All right.
Hey, bye.
All right. Now let's get back to our last pick of the college football predictions. So LSU, Florida State, Boston College, I'm on. Yeah. So I'm gonna take Florida State still in this one. I like this one. So I like the Seminoles in this one. This is a bounce back game for them. They gotta really show it. If they lose to Boston College, I'd say they're screwed. Their playoff chances are for sure out the window. Which kind of, hey, their loss to Georgia Tech kind of opened the door for Virginia Tech. Hopefully they take advantage of it this year. Still, who loses to Georgia Tech? Well, I shouldn't say because Virginia Tech did lose to Georgia Tech, which is kind of scary. This Georgia Tech team kind of scares me this year. I know it may be a lucky win or something like that. So, yeah, I like Florida State winning on Labor Day night at home, blowing out Boston College. I mean, of course, this is Bill O'Brien's debut as a Boston College head coach now, after, being with Nick Saban, Alabama Crimson Tide for a while, being the offensive coordinator, being a head coach of the Texans. So, yeah, first head coaching job since he got fired in the NFL. So, yeah, back into college. So, yeah, it's interesting how Bill Brown does. But, yeah, Florida State big. But let's pick my conference championship picks now. Like who I like in winning their conference in each conference this year, and how my first year 12-team expansion. I want to see who I got in the playoffs this year. Who I like this year, who I don't like. Let's start with the ACC. You know who I'm going to take in the ACC. Virginia Tech's winning the ACC this year, I think. That's my ACC champ this year. Florida State will not repeat as ACC champs. It's going to be the Hokies that's going to win it this year. It's Virginia Tech's year. So we're on the ACC. That's why I think it's going to win it. And they'll make the playoffs for the first time in program history as well. So I like them. I think that's the only ACC team that makes the playoffs, I think. Maybe I could be wrong. I like Virginia Tech in that one. The SEC is kind of a tough one to pick. Between like Florida, not Florida, but like Georgia and Texas and Alabama still I could say, but I'd say it's gonna be Georgia or Texas, but I think Georgia is the better team still. I think Georgia wins the SEC this year. That's what I like is my SEC championship this year. Next, yes, Pac-12 is just down to 2 teams. Just down to 2, yeah. It's so weird. So weird how that's going to be. I mean, the end of the Pac-12 is going to be a lot different this year. Let's go with the Big Ten. This one's I'm kind of having trouble with the Big Ten, I think. But I would say Ohio State, but I'm going to go with Oregon. Their first year in the conference, they're going to win the Big Ten this year. I think Oregon's got better talent than Ohio State. Ohio State's really good, too. They got really good up there with Oregon, but Dylan Gabriel, he's been in college football for a long time. He's going to lead Oregon to a Big Ten championship in this one. Big 12's kind of been tough to pick on this one, too, as well. There's no way in hell I'm picking Colorado. Colorado is going to struggle. I was thinking West Virginia, but I think Utah's going to win the Big 12. Their first year in the conference, Utah's going to be your Big 12 champs. Utah's going to be the team to beat this year. So is Oklahoma State, but I like the Utah to represent the Big 12 in the college football playoffs this year. So I think the group of 5 teams, I think the group of 5 team that's going to represent the highest ranked group of 5 team that's going to represent the college football playoffs. Honestly, it's going to be Boise State. I think Boise State makes the playoffs. They're going to be the second group of 5 team to ever make the playoffs. That's right, because the last seed gets 12th seed will be the highest ranked group of 5 team. I think it's Boise. They're a powerhouse. They should be a team that should be in the playoffs. So let's see. I got the number 1 team. I think the number 1 team that's going to represent the college football playoffs. I think it's the Oregon. They're going to be number 1 seed. Then Georgia's the number 2. I'd say number 3. I'd give it to Utah. Virginia Tech is a 4 seed. I got 5 seed. I'd say Ohio State. I think Ohio State will be multiple Big Ten teams that'll make it this year. SEC. I'd say Texas, probably 6 seed. 7 seed. I think there'll at least be another Big Ten team also. Then just maybe Penn State could sneak in this year as a 7 seed. So I think Penn State will face Ole Miss 7-10. I think 3 rematch from last year. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl will be 7-10 seed in Happy Valley. 8 and 9 seed. I like Notre Dame in that one. I think they'll end up facing West. I think they'll end up. Who do they think I'm going to end up facing? That's a tough one. I think I'm old. I think who else I think is going to be Notre Dame versus. Honestly, probably another AC team will still get in. I think Florida State will be the runner-up. So I think Notre Dame and Florida State is an 8 and 9. 7, so 11, 10. I got that. 6 seed versus 11 seed. Who do I like in that matchup? Good represent. I think Texas will probably be the 6th seed in that one. I think they'll probably end up facing probably a team like, I would say, like maybe another Big 12 team. I think like West Virginia. I think West Virginia will be there. But I think Virginia Tech will definitely be there. I think then Boise State will obviously play Ohio State. So yeah, Virginia Tech. Who course, you know I'm going to pick with my national championship this year. It's going to be Virginia Tech, obviously. My Hokies. I'm being biased this year, I know, because a lot of expectations this year. I could be wrong. Last year I had Penn State. This year I got my Hokies winning the national championship this year. I think Virginia Tech beats Ohio State. I think Virginia Tech will beat Ohio State in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals, and then semifinals. We're going to end up beating Oregon. I think we'll end up facing Georgia. I think in the championship game we'll beat Georgia. Sounds nuts. Yes, it sounds biased, but this is the only time I would pick. Probably pick Virginia Tech to win it all this year. My Hokies are gonna go all the way this year. People think I'm crazy, but seriously, everyone's overlooking them. I mean, look at all much returning production, especially on the offense and the defense side, especially the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, those are my picks this year. Those are my predictions. I think my conference winners. I think Virginia Tech is our national champs this year. My Hokies are gonna have a big year, and hope everyone enjoys their college football weekend. Hope my buddy Max Sheridan gets his picks in before tomorrow night's games. So yeah, everyone enjoy your college football Saturday, everyone. Go Hokies.